SANDHAN, All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.
Hello friends, you must be enjoying your scope lectures. The prime purpose of these lectures is to enhance your communication skills in English, and through scope definitely I am sure that you would be doing well. And today's topic is how to enhance communication skills. Friends, all of you want to be a good learner of English, all of you want to be a good speaker of English. You want to have command over speaking skills. Listening, good listening means comprehension you can have. But how you can be a good writer? How you can comprehend the things? These puzzle you. Aren't you puzzled by all these problems? Now solution is, what can be done? What is the solution for this? And keeping in view all these questions, today in this lecture we will be talking of enhancing communication skills. In this, how to enhance communication skills. When we talk of communication skills, all of you are familiar with what are LSRW. L stands for listening, speaking, reading and writing. Language learning, friends, you remember, language learning is language use. More you use the language, you will have good command, you will acquire the language. However you speak, you are making mistakes, all are part of your learning. So you should not be afraid of this. So important thing is, you will have to strengthen your communicative competence, and for this purpose you will have to you will have to grab the opportunities. Friends, you remember, language is not taught but it is caught. If you are aware, then you can develop. Let us talk of what are the barriers. When we talk of classroom learning, we have large classes, more than 50 to 60 students, and it is very difficult for the teacher to pay individual attention. Second thing, we find focus is on reading and writing. All the time we are asked to read something or we are asked to write the answers. What can be this? We are asked to change from active to passive, transformation of sentences and all these things. Next comes teacher-centered class. The next important thing is unrehearsed language practice. In unrehearsed language practice, what we find that we do not get chance to have practice of language. We do not talk of situations, and in some of the cases people use situations but they are mechanical ones. Friends, many of you have bought Rapidex speaking English course, Climax English speaking course, but what I suggest to you, that mechanical use of situations, mechanical use of language for particular situations are not going to help you. So here communicative language teaching has come for your rescues. Here in this, we are not going to teach you grammar. Our purpose is not merely to strengthen your linguistic competence. Linguistic competence means, earlier it was thought that if you are good enough, if you have command over language, you will automatically be able to speak in English, but that is not possible. Friends, all of you know that you have been studying English for a couple of years, but are you able to be a good communicator? So here in communicative language teaching, we focus on real life situations. Then here we implement all the skills. Important thing is communicative activities. In communicative activities, they are designed. We find pre-communicative activities, we find communicative activities, we find post-communicative activities. So important thing is, use situations, meaningful situations are to be used. Sometimes what happens, we have seen that teacher walks in the class and asks students, what I am doing? The student answers, sir, you are walking in the class. At that time, that is mechanical one. So important thing is, when we walk, we do not use what do we do. While walking, we do not say that what I am doing. So important thing is use of language in real life situations. So ultimate goal of teaching is, means communicative language, is to perform communicative functions. When we talk of functions, means how to make request, how to make complaint, and for making request, many structures can be used. Suppose you have forgotten your ball pen, and at that time you are supposed to ask from your neighbors that please give me ball pen. You know how many ways you can express this. First of all, give me ball pen, please give me your ball pen, would you mind me giving your ball pen, could you give me your ball pen, I hope you will not, may I use your ball pen. So these are the functions of language. Complaint, when you want to register in day to day life, what happens? We make enquiries when we go to post office, when we go to bank for opening an account. We go to the person concerned, we ask what can be done, what are the procedures. At that time we are performing, means we are making enquiries. So request, complaints, making enquiries. Sometimes suppose we arrange a party, as in day to day life we arrange parties. When we want to invite our friends on our birthday party, at that time how to invite people, there are many ways. In a stereotype way, we have one or two structures, but here I would like to advise you that many ways can be used. So function, when we talk of functions of language, requesting, complaining, inviting, rejecting invitations, rejecting requests, accepting invitations, and many other functions can be used. So functions, we use language in day to day life. The question is, why to use the language? Why to use the language? Language is used for day to day functions, for performing functions. So at that time, if we are carefully choosing and we start using step by step, means we can begin with small structures, then we can go further. So in real life we use all the skills. As I have talked earlier, skills means LSRW. L stands for listening, S stands for speaking, R stands for reading, and W stands for writing. So in day to day life, friends, what we do, we use all skills in integrated way. Suppose what we do, we are listening to teacher, then we are noting down something, at that time we use writing, then we are reading what is dictated by teacher, and then what we do, we go for making notes. So we use all these skills. And then let us bifurcate these four skills into listening and speaking. Receptive, generally listening and speaking, they are termed as receptive skills, and productive skills are speaking and writing are productive skills, listening and reading are receptive skills. Friends, don't ignore, if you want to be a good speaker of language, don't ignore listening. Now question comes, from where to listen? From where to listen? How, when we cannot get exposure because English is not used at marketplace, because where to learn, where to listen English? Friends, here I would like to remind you that how did you learn your first language? With the help of constant exposure. Unless you are exposed, you are not able. At which age you learnt English, Gujarati? Gujarati is your mother tongue. At which age, I ask you, you learned? Surely at the age of 1 or 2 years. When you are 1 or 2 years old, you start. And how you begin? Here my advice is, how a small child starts speaking, uttering. First of all, for 6 months or 1 year, he or she, what they do, they start means making association of sound and meaning. Then what do they do? Gradually they start speaking small syllable, 1 syllable words, 2 syllable words. Ma, ma, pa, pa. These are the syllables, first words used by child speaker of first language. So in the same way, I advise you that you should go for, means in second language case, means in English, you may begin with small words. There is no hesitation. Let us means make use of small sentences. Thanks, sorry, hello, good morning, good evening, afternoon, all these. Okay, sorry I could not do, I apologize. These are the small phrases which can be helpful for us, and it also helps us in cultivating manners. So when we talk of English language, it also brings its rich culture, manners, heritage. So in isolation we cannot learn. So I advise you that you should begin with this as you begin in first language. So listening plays a vital role. Whichever source is available, go for this. Don't hesitate. I have told you earlier, language is not taught, but it is caught. So need of time is, and you cannot say that you don't get chance. Television is available through, means many programs are telecast, and I will not advise you in the beginning that you should go for news writing, news listening. Why to? You can go for film festival awards. You can go for many other programs where they use English, means English and Hindi both. So it is not necessary that purely we should watch English programs. We can begin with, because we want to use them as launching pad. So important thing is how constructively we are making use of skills, and television is a boon for us. Mobile is with you people, you can record. So this technology, judicious use of technology can be helpful. And one more thing I would like to advise you, that if you make errors, don't get hesitated, because friends, I advise you that generally when you speak English, people go on finding faults. Here nobody finds fault when you speak Gujarati, but whenever we start speaking English, people say, oh, he has used language like this or that. So don't get distracted by these negative comment, because you are on the right track, means you have started using the language. And if you make mistakes, what is wrong with this? Second thing, Gujarati or Hindi or English, these are the language of Indo-European families. So we find similarities also. I go to college, and who college jaun chu? Subject, verb, and then object. In English, I go to college. Subject, I stands for subject, go means verb, and object means where you go, college. Who college jaun chu? In Indian languages, who subject, then we find kya jao chu, college, and then verb. So be careful that in English, verb is followed, means subject is followed by verb. So just you keep this thing in mind. And our purpose is not to have language learning merely. Your purpose should be acquiring the language acquisition. How a child of 1 or 2 years starts acquiring Gujarati language or his mother tongue, in the same way you can go for that. So my advice is, you make use of all these skills, then you can have good results. Next thing, language cannot be learnt in isolation. Language can be learned in particular context. Particular context, you might be wondering, what is this context word? Context word means particular situation. You are going to attend a welcome party organized by your seniors, and at that time you are asked to give introduction. At that time you will get chance to meet, to greet your seniors, and as they have arranged their means party for you people, you are freshers, one kind of assurance for you. So at that time you must express thanks. So this is the context, means you are going to welcome party, and this is what they have arranged for you. So important thing is, be ready for this, and language is not used in isolation, as we taught grammar in previous years. So my advice is, language means you go for small situations. How you will go, how one should go, I will tell you. In traditional way, in traditional pedagogy, different approach was used. Grammar was taught in isolation. But nowadays, focus is on meaning. Focus is not on the form. We are focusing, my dear friends, on fluency rather than accuracy. So our target should be of acquiring fluency, not acquiring at this moment accuracy. Because once you have acquired fluency, you can come to know when you listen to others where the fault lies, and with the passage of time you can correct it. So particular context is important thing. Now again and again I am using the word communicative, communication, competence. Means you want to be a good communicator of English, want to acquire mastery over English, that is called communicative competence. And Dale Hymes, he has given theory of communicative competence. Communicative competence covers everything. We are not ignoring friends grammar here. Means sentence must be grammatically right. I talk to you, I talk to my friends, or talk friend I. Just compare these two sentences. I talk to my friends. If you ask someone what is sentence, they will say sentence is a group of words. Is it enough? No. Group of words, but it makes complete sense. So here important thing is sentence must be grammatically correct, grammatically acceptable. That is linguistic competence. Then whatever we are saying, why we are saying, whether others are comprehending. Suppose I am talking to you, what my purpose is? I want to communicate you. My purpose not to deliver lecture here. I want to share my views with you. That is what second step, feasible. Now third stage comes, how much appropriate, which type of language we are using, social norms, appropriate or not, and last thing is, in fact, it is done or not, means it is related to performance. So grammatically sentence must be grammatically correct. Second thing, we are speaking, we are using language for others. If they do not understand, then what is the benefit? Sometimes we have seen that people go for RP's accent, so no need to go for artificial pronunciation. You be clear, use small sentences, simple language,